Have you ever felt like you're racing against time itself? Against invisible expectations? And against everyone around you? In the hurried pace of modern life, it seems everyone is rushing. Everyone fears being left behind. We often get caught in an endless whirlwind of work, social media, and seemingly never-ending goals. The story I'm about to tell is about a journey to rediscover peace, about the power of patience, and the value of slowing down. Ethan, a 32-year-old man, was living in that very whirlwind. Ethan was a dynamic office worker, but deep down, he always felt an invisible pressure weighing him down. The pressure to get promoted faster, to earn more money, to have a perfect life like the ones he saw on social media. Every morning, Ethan woke up feeling restless. He scrolled through his phone, read the news, checked work emails, and then saw the dazzling successes of his friends and colleagues on Facebook and LinkedIn. One friend had just bought a house, another was promoted, and yet another was on a luxurious trip. Meanwhile, Ethan felt like he was still lagging, still struggling with unachieved goals. Am I too slow? That question echoed in Ethan's mind. He tried to work faster, multitask, drink strong black coffee to stay alert, and always be ready to react to every notification. But the harder he tried, the more exhausted he felt, his mind growing increasingly stressed and irritable. His work wasn't becoming more efficient, his relationships gradually faded, and the joy in his life seemed to have vanished. Ethan realized he was losing himself in this endless race. One weekend afternoon, Ethan decided to escape the hustle of work and the city's noise by taking a walk in the park. He wandered among the cool green trees, trying to breathe in the fresh air, but his mind wouldn't stop dwelling on deadlines and worries. Suddenly, he paused by a small pond. There, a large turtle was slowly crawling onto the bank. Each of its steps was heavy, deliberate, yet incredibly steady. The turtle wasn't rushing, wasn't looking left or right, simply focusing on its own journey. Ethan stood there, watching the turtle for a long time. Then he sighed. "If only I could live as slowly as it does," he murmured. Just then, a warm, deep voice spoke up beside him. "Do you see that turtle? It doesn't rush, but it always reaches its destination." Ethan turned around. It was an elderly park guard with silver hair, smiling kindly. The guard sat down on a nearby stone bench, calmly looking towards the turtle. "Yes, I do," Ethan replied. "I wish I had that kind of calmness. I feel like I always have to race, to be faster, but I don't even know where I'm rushing to." The guard nodded gently. "Life is like a long journey, not a sprint. That turtle understands that. It knows that every step, no matter how small, is part of the journey. It doesn't compare its speed to the birds flying in the sky or the fish swimming in the water. It just lives at its own pace." We, humans, often forget that. We look at others, at what they have, and then feel like we're not fast enough, not good enough. But you know, rushing often damages the mind, while patience builds a life. The most precious things often need time to grow, to blossom and bear fruit. The guard's words were like a splash of cold water on Ethan's agitated mind, yet they brought an unusual calm. Ethan sat down beside the guard, listening to stories about the trees in the park, how they grew day by day, little by little, never rushing, but always reaching strongly upwards. He began to question the necessity of rushing in every aspect of his life. Was he perhaps missing out on important things just because he was so busy chasing a pace he had set for himself? From that chance encounter, a seed of change began to sprout in Ethan's heart. He started making small, yet significant changes in his daily life. Instead of trying to multitask, he focused on one task at a time. When eating, he gave his full attention to the meal, savouring the taste of each dish instead of scrolling through his phone. When working, he turned off all unnecessary notifications, concentrated entirely on the task at hand, and completed it as meticulously as possible. Ethan also significantly reduced his social media usage. He realised that constantly updating himself on others' lives didn't help him progress, but only added pressure and comparison. Instead, he dedicated time to activities that brought him joy and personal growth. He started learning to play the guitar, a long-held dream he had put aside, thinking he didn't have the time. Ethan wasn't in a hurry to become a masterful artist. He simply enjoyed the learning process, his clumsy fingers on the strings, the initially discordant sounds gradually becoming more melodious. He prioritized consistency over speed, practicing just a little each day, but regularly. Initially, things weren't easy. The habits of rushing and multitasking were deeply ingrained in Ethan. There were times when he felt uncomfortable slowing down, feeling like he was wasting time. But whenever he felt that way, Ethan remembered the image of the turtle and the guard's words. He was patient with himself, accepting that change required time and practice. Gradually, Ethan began to feel the difference. He no longer felt restless or constantly anxious. Instead, there was an inner peace, a sense of calm he had lost long ago. He became more focused at work, and the quality of his work noticeably improved. Colleagues and superiors observed Ethan's positive changes. He was no longer rushing, yet he worked more efficiently, more carefully, and more reliably. As a result, Ethan began to receive new responsibilities, more important projects, not because he was the fastest, but because he was someone who worked with depth, patience, and dedication. He realized that life was truly a long road, not a sprint. Value wasn't in reaching the finish line first, but in enjoying each step, learning from every stage, and building a meaningful, solid life. Ethan's story is a testament to a simple truth often forgotten in the modern world. Rushing damages the mind, while patience builds a life. Slow, steady steps, taken with focus and mindfulness, will ultimately lead to true progress, fulfillment, and a complete life. Allow yourself to slow down, to feel, to contemplate, and to truly live. Because sometimes, the greatest thing isn't in speed, but in perseverance and the appreciation of every moment. If you've ever felt like you're running non-stop but still coming up short, leave one comment for me. What are you rushing for the most these days? Work? Money? Or the pressure to look like everyone else online? I'll read every comment and reply, so we can find a calmer pace together, just like Ethan did. If this story resonated with you, please hit like to support the channel, and share it with someone who's been stressed lately. Maybe today, they also need a turtle moment to pause and breathe. And finally, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because every video here is a gentle reminder that you don't have to be faster than others. You just have to become steadier than your past self, one day at a time.